I want you to feel this deep truth in your heart. Things are moving faster than you realize, and everything is working out for you. The currents of life are aligning in ways unseen, and the moment you've been waiting for is closer than ever. The universe, the unseen power within you, is orchestrating every detail for your highest good. Even if it doesn't seem obvious now, the signs are everywhere, silently confirming that your breakthrough is near. Imagine the life you desire as if it has already arrived. Feel it in your mind, see it clearly, and live with that sense of fulfillment now. The mind is the builder, and reality is merely the reflection of your inner state. When you hold the feeling of your desire already accomplished, the outer world cannot help but respond. Doubt may whisper, impatience may try to creep in, but know that these are distractions. The key is to remain steadfast in your inner conviction. Notice the small miracles happening around you: an unexpected call, a sudden opportunity, a conversation that shifts everything. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that your reality is changing, that your desired outcome is drawing near. Pay attention to them, acknowledge them, let them remind you that you are on the right path. Act, but act from inspired assurance, not from fear or desperation. Every step you take in faith strengthens the movement of life toward you. Sometimes the smallest actions taken with confidence have the greatest impact. Trust your intuition. It is your guide through the unseen currents shaping your reality. Know this: something big is coming, bigger than your plans, bigger than your expectations. The moment you have prepared for is approaching, and the universe is ready to deliver it in ways you may not yet imagine. Stay ready, stay aware, and maintain your inner sense of fulfillment. The faster you embrace this feeling, the faster life will respond. Everything is working out, everything is moving, and very soon you will look back and marvel at how swiftly, how perfectly everything aligned to bring you the reality you have long imagined. Everything in your life is already moving toward the fulfillment of your desires. Even if your outer circumstances appear chaotic or uncertain, there is a perfect order operating behind the scenes, guiding every event, every encounter, and every moment toward what you have imagined. The universe or the creative power within you is never idle. It is always working, always orchestrating, always aligning. Nothing happens by accident. Every person you meet, every opportunity that appears, every challenge you face is part of a larger, invisible design that is working for your highest good. When you understand this, you realize that there is no need to push or force things to happen. The power that has placed your desire in your heart is already ensuring that it is in motion. You must learn to trust this unseen orchestration. Your imagination is the key to this trust. When you hold a clear vision of what you want, when you feel the reality of it as if it is already present, you are aligning yourself with the natural flow that brings it into manifestation. Doubts and fears are simply signals that you are looking at the outer world instead of the inner truth. The outer world is slow to reflect what is already accomplished in the mind, but it cannot resist the persistence of a living imagination. What you see with your mind's eye, what you feel in your heart, is already real. The forces of life have begun to adjust, to bend, and to shape circumstances in accordance with that reality. Consider for a moment how often life has worked this way without you even noticing. Opportunities arrived at the perfect time. People appeared exactly when you needed them, and solutions emerged just when things seemed impossible. These are not random coincidences. They are evidence of the alignment that is always taking place. The universe responds to the state of consciousness when you maintain the feeling of fulfillment, when you believe without hesitation that your desire is already yours. The world conforms to that inner certainty. Every event, every encounter, every turn of fortune is part of a larger tapestry, weaving itself in perfect harmony with your imagination. The key is to stop resisting, to stop trying to control the how of things, and to embrace the faith that everything is already aligned. Release anxiety, impatience, and worry, for these are distractions from the creative power that is working tirelessly on your behalf. Instead, rest in the assurance that your desire is in motion, that every unseen force is contributing to its fulfillment. Hold the vision, feel it as real, and trust that the unfolding is perfect. Life does not hurry, yet everything is moving faster than you realize. What you have called into existence is already on its way, and the alignment that is occurring now is setting the stage for a manifestation so perfect that it will surpass all expectations. To assume the feeling of fulfillment is to step into a reality that does not yet exist in your physical world, but already exists in your imagination. The mind is the creative force, and the world outside is merely a reflection of your inner state. When you live as if your desire has already been realized, you set into motion a process that draws that reality into your experience. It is not enough to wish, hope, or dream about your breakthrough. You must embody it fully in every thought, every emotion, and every action. See yourself living the life you desire. Feel the joy, the relief, the excitement, and the peace that come with its fulfillment. Let that feeling permeate your being so completely that there is no doubt it is already yours. Many people make the mistake of waiting for external proof before allowing themselves to feel success, happiness, or abundance. They look at their circumstances and say, I cannot feel fulfilled until this happens, not realizing that it is the reverse. The feeling must come first. Your breakthrough is drawn to the state of consciousness you inhabit. By assuming the feeling of fulfillment now, you are planting a seed that the universe cannot ignore. Every thought, every image, every emotion aligned with that fulfillment is a signal to life that this reality is not hypothetical, it is already fact. Visualization alone is not enough. It must be accompanied by genuine emotion. Emotion is the fuel that powers creation. When you truly feel the reality of your desire, your vibration aligns with it, and the outer world begins to adjust. Circumstances, people, and events begin to converge to match the inner state you have assumed. It is a natural law. The outer world always conforms to the dominant feeling within. By feeling your breakthrough is already accomplished, you create a magnetic pull that draws it closer, and obstacles lose their power over you because you are no longer defined by them. Living in this fulfilled state does not mean ignoring the present or denying challenges. It means acknowledging where you are while holding firmly to where you are going. You act in the world from a place of confidence, assurance, and inner satisfaction rather than fear, doubt, or desperation. Your actions become inspired, and opportunities that align with your assumed state appear effortlessly. People, situations, and even time itself begin to work in your favor. The key is persistence. Your breakthrough may not appear overnight, but the longer you dwell in the state of fulfillment, the faster life aligns to mirror it. Make it real in your imagination each day, feel it deeply, and carry it with you in every interaction, every decision, every thought. In doing so, you create a vibrational reality that cannot be denied. The world will bend, circumstances will shift, and very soon the life you have assumed will manifest naturally and perfectly, just as if it had always been yours. To release doubt and resistance is to surrender fully to the creative process that is already at work in your life. Fear, impatience, and the compulsive desire to control the how of things are the greatest obstacles to manifestation. They create a tension between your inner reality and the outer world, and as long as you hold on to them, you slow the natural flow of life. Your breakthrough is not dependent on your efforts to manipulate circumstances, it is dependent on your inner state, on the faith and certainty that what you have imagined is already real. When you let go of resistance, you align with the invisible forces that are tirelessly working on your behalf. Doubt is the voice of the senses, the part of you that looks at the present moment and declares, "It is not yet here, therefore it cannot be." Resistance is the push against the natural current, a stubborn insistence that things must unfold in your timing or according to your plan. Both are illusions, and both are born of a misunderstanding of the creative power within you. What is coming to you cannot be hindered by your outer circumstances. Your desires are already set in motion in the unseen realm, and no amount of worry, frustration, or overthinking can alter their trajectory. The key is to trust, wholly and without reservation, that life is working in perfect order to bring you what you have imagined. Impatience is often the disguise of doubt. When you feel anxious or restless because your desire has not yet appeared, you are signaling to yourself that you do not fully believe it is possible. Yet the truth is that manifestation has its own timing, perfectly synchronized with your readiness to receive it. By letting go of impatience, you release the tension that blocks your flow, and you open yourself to the effortless unfolding of what is already destined for you. Life is infinitely intelligent. It knows the precise moment, the perfect circumstances, and the right sequence of events to deliver your desire in the most powerful and harmonious way. Letting go of control does not mean inaction. It means action from a state of inner assurance rather than from anxiety or fear. You act with inspired guidance, taking steps that feel natural and confident rather than forcing outcomes that resist your current circumstances. Each act, taken from trust, from faith, from certainty, strengthens the alignment between your inner reality and the outer world. The moment you release doubt and resistance, you experience a profound freedom. You are no longer tethered to the limitations of what is visible. You begin to sense the invisible currents moving on your behalf, guiding people, situations, and opportunities into perfect alignment. Your desires flow toward you as effortlessly as rivers flow to the sea. The universe does not compete with resistance. It mirrors your state of consciousness. Hold steadfast in faith. Let go of fear and know with unwavering certainty that what you have imagined is already real. Your breakthrough is inevitable, and nothing in the outer world can prevent it from arriving in perfect order and timing. The universe is constantly speaking to you, sending messages and confirmations in ways that may seem subtle or even coincidental. These synchronicities, signs, unexpected opportunities, timely encounters, and meaningful coincidences are not random. They are the language of your imagination made visible in the world around you. As you study, as you read, as you talk, you should learn every time a door opens unexpectedly, every time someone appears at the right moment, every time a circumstance unfolds with perfect timing, it is a signal that your desire is drawing near. These events are confirmations that the unseen forces orchestrating your life are working in perfect harmony to bring your vision into manifestation. To recognize these synchronicities, you must first become aware and attentive. Life often passes by in a blur of activity, and without awareness, the messages of the universe go unnoticed. Pay attention to patterns, repetitions, and moments that stir your heart or mind. A phone call, an article, a conversation, or even a fleeting thought may carry profound meaning if you are present enough to notice it. Every synchronistic event is a reminder that your inner state, your assumption, your belief, your imagined reality is already influencing the outer world. The world is responding to the feeling and conviction you hold in your mind. Acknowledging these signs is as important as noticing them. When you see a confirmation, recognize it, embrace it, and allow it to strengthen your belief in what is coming. Gratitude amplifies the effect of synchronicities. The more you appreciate these signs, the more you attract experiences that align with your desired reality. Synchronicities are not just hints, they are tangible proof that your inner assumption is effective, that your inner assumption is taking shape in the outer world. They provide reassurance, fuel confidence, and remind you to stay aligned with the feeling of fulfillment you seek. Sometimes synchronicities arrive in subtle ways, almost imperceptibly, through shifts in your thinking or changes in the people around you. Other times they appear dramatically, through opportunities or encounters that seem to happen by chance, but carry extraordinary significance. The key is to trust the intelligence behind these occurrences. Life is intelligent, and it conspires to deliver your desires in the most perfect way. Nothing is wasted. Every event, every coincidence, every encounter is a piece of the larger puzzle, guiding you closer to the reality you have imagined. When you cultivate the habit of recognizing synchronicities, you begin to notice how aligned everything already is. You start to see a pattern in what once seemed random. You begin to trust life more deeply, knowing that nothing is happening by accident, and that all circumstances are contributing to the fulfillment of your desire. Each sign becomes a confirmation, each coincidence a gentle nudge, and each opportunity a bridge connecting you to what you have imagined. Life is not chaotic. It is a reflection of the state of your consciousness. The more you pay attention, the more confirmations appear, and the closer your breakthrough comes to you. By recognizing and acknowledging these synchronicities, you strengthen your alignment, deepen your faith, and accelerate the arrival of your desire. Life is moving in your favor, and the signs are everywhere. You only need to see them. To act from inspired assurance is to step into life guided by confidence, intuition, and inner knowing rather than fear, doubt, or anxiety. Most people take action from a place of restlessness, worry, or desperation, hoping to force outcomes or control circumstances. But this type of action is ineffective because it is disconnected from the creative power within. True action, the kind that aligns with the forces moving in your favor, comes from inspiration. The subtle, compelling inner guidance that tells you exactly when, where, and how to move. When you act from this state, every step you take becomes a catalyst for your desires, accelerating their manifestation in ways you may not even anticipate. Inspired assurance begins with trust. You must trust that the universe is already working on your behalf and that your desire is unfolding perfectly, whether or not you see immediate results. When you take action from this trust, it carries a magnetic quality. People, circumstances, and opportunities respond effortlessly to your confidence-centered energy. Even small, seemingly ordinary steps, when taken from this state, have extraordinary power. Each action lined with your inner conviction sends a signal to the world that your desire is real and inevitable. The more consistently you act from this state, the faster life aligns to support you. The effort. It is essential to distinguish between true inspiration and impulsive or reactive behavior. Impulsive actions are often born of anxiety, impatience, or external pressure, and they rarely produce the results you want. Inspired actions, on the other hand, feel natural, clear, and effortless. They may be small and subtle, a conversation initiated, a message sent, an opportunity pursued, but they carry the energy of certainty and assurance. Even a single step taken with inner confidence can set off a chain of events that propels you closer to your desired reality. Acting from inspired assurance also requires attentiveness. The universe communicates constantly through ideas, nudges, and subtle signals. When you remain present and open, you recognize the exact moment to act. Hesitation or overthinking can block these moments, delaying the manifestation of your desires. By responding promptly to inspiration, you demonstrate faith in the unseen forces guiding you and reinforce the alignment between your inner state and outer reality. Each inspired step strengthens this connection, creating momentum that cannot be stopped. The quality of your action is far more important than quantity. You do not need to exhaust yourself with frantic efforts or overcomplicated plans. What matters is that each action comes from a place of inner certainty, aligned with the feeling of fulfillment you have already assumed. When you combine consistent, inspired action with unwavering belief, life responds with remarkable speed and precision. Doors open that were previously hidden, opportunities appear exactly when needed, and people align themselves with your vision. Acting from inspired assurance is not just a technique, it is a state of being. It is living with confidence, trust, and inner harmony while moving through the world. The more you cultivate this state, the more effortless your progress becomes, and the closer you come to the reality you have imagined. Step forward with faith, act when inspired, and watch as life conspires in your favor, accelerating the arrival of everything you desire. To expect the extraordinary is to cultivate a consciousness that reaches beyond the limits of your current understanding and imagination. Most people set their sights on what seems reasonable, what feels attainable, or what the circumstances suggest is possible. Yet life rarely honors modest expectations. The universe operates on a scale far greater than the limitations you perceive. When you know in your heart that something big, unprecedented, and magnificent is approaching, you open yourself to receive in ways that ordinary expectation cannot allow. Your imagination is the gateway to this extraordinary reality, and your readiness to embrace it becomes the magnet that draws it toward you. Expecting the extraordinary begins with the belief that life is abundant and generous, that there are infinite possibilities awaiting your recognition. You are not merely waiting for a small improvement or a gradual change. You are claiming the reality that exceeds what you can currently see or plan. By focusing on this awareness, you align yourself with a higher frequency of manifestation, a state of being that resonates with the magnitude of your desire. The universe responds not to small, hesitant expectations, but to the boldness of those who assume greatness is already theirs. Your readiness is the secret that amplifies manifestation. It is not enough to desire something extraordinary. You must also prepare your mind, heart, and consciousness to receive it fully. Let go of limiting beliefs, doubts, or fears that diminish your capacity to accept greatness. Cultivate a sense of inner abundance, a feeling that what is coming is not only possible but inevitable. When you maintain this inner state, opportunities, people, and circumstances begin to shift to reflect the magnitude of your expectation. Life conspires to bring to you what you are ready to embrace. Expecting the extraordinary also requires living with an inner certainty that your breakthrough is imminent. Visualize it, feel it, and carry it as a reality in your imagination. The mind does not distinguish between the imagined and the experienced when the feeling is real. When you inhabit the state of having already received, the extraordinary becomes inevitable. Even events that seem ordinary begin to reveal hidden potential. Coincidences align in perfect timing, and doors that once seemed closed swing wide. Expecting the extraordinary expands your perception of possibility. It dissolves the boundaries that the world imposes and liberates you from the limitations of circumstance. Challenges no longer intimidate you because you perceive them as stepping stones rather than obstacles. You approach life with a sense of wonder and openness, ready to receive the blessings and breakthroughs that exceed your expectations. Every thought, every feeling, and every action that aligns with this expectation accelerates its manifestation. To expect the extraordinary is to claim your highest potential. It is to declare to life and to yourself that you are worthy of miracles, of sudden breakthroughs, and of remarkable success. The larger your expectation, the more life responds, for the universe always mirrors the boldness of your imagination. Hold this expectation firmly, feel it deeply, and live as if the extraordinary has already arrived, and you will witness a reality that surpasses all that you have imagined. As we draw to the close of this message, remember that everything is moving in your favor. Life is aligning perfectly, and the unseen forces are orchestrating every detail to bring your desires into reality. Trust in the process. Assume the feeling of fulfillment. Release doubt and resistance. Recognize the signs around you. Act from inspired assurance and expect the extraordinary. Your breakthrough is not only possible, it is inevitable. The moment you have imagined is already on its way, and very soon you will witness the perfect unfolding of your vision. Stay ready, stay aligned, and embrace the magnificent reality that awaits you. Thank you. There comes a moment in every journey where the invisible becomes undeniable, where the shift you once felt only inside begins to show itself in the physical world. That moment, my friend, is now. Things are moving faster for you. Change is accelerating. Doors that were once sealed shut are beginning to open with ease because your inner state has already transformed. What you hold in your imagination is not a dream far away. It is a reality already prepared. Every desire that rises within you comes with the power to fulfill itself. The moment you saw it in your mind, it became yours. And now the world you walk through is rearranging itself to make that vision tangible. Do not be fooled by what appears slow on the surface. Beneath every quiet day is a rapid movement of divine orchestration. Behind every delay is a setup. Behind every closed door is a better one being built. You are not waiting for your blessing. Your blessing is waiting for the right alignment. Life is not happening to you. Life is responding to you. As you shift your assumptions, as you dare to believe bigger, life must expand to match that belief. You are the cause, the world is the effect. And your inner cause has changed so drastically, so boldly, that your outer world has no choice but to rise to a higher level. Don't underestimate what's happening right now. The signs are subtle, but they are significant. You feel more clarity. You feel a deeper peace. You have a knowing. Something great is near. You're outgrowing old fears and limitations. This is not confidence. This is confirmation. What once took years will now take months. What once took months will now take days. The momentum behind your manifestation is increasing because you finally believe you are worthy of it. Expect the phone call. Expect the opportunity. Expect the unexpected blessing. The miracle is not coming slowly. It is moving toward you with speed, precision, and purpose. Hold your head high. Walk like it's already done. Trust that every piece is falling beautifully into place. When you rest in certainty, the universe rushes to deliver. Your big moment isn't someday. It's soon. It's close. It's inevitable. Things are moving faster for you. Expect something big is coming. Stay ready, because the version of you who once hoped for change is now becoming the version who lives in fulfillment. Your breakthrough is not only on the way. What you assume to be true becomes the path life follows. Every belief you choose, every conclusion you draw about yourself and your future, silently shapes the experiences you walk into. Many people think life is happening randomly, or that circumstances are dictated by luck, fate, or the decisions of others. But the deeper truth is far more empowering. Life rearranges itself to match the assumptions you hold at your core. Assumptions are not just thoughts. They are the quiet convictions beneath your actions, emotions, and responses. They determine what opportunities you notice and which ones you ignore. They decide how you interpret setbacks, whether you see them as a sign to give up or as proof that something better is forming. Your assumption is the cause, and your life becomes the effect. If you assume you are overlooked, forgotten, and undeserving, the world will show you evidence that confirms it. Faces will turn away, opportunities will pass by, and challenges will seem impossible. Not because you are incapable, but because your inner belief has instructed life to behave that way. Your assumption about yourself becomes the law you live under. Life holds a law you live under, but the moment you embrace a different inner truth, one that says you are chosen, favored, supported, and guided, everything shifts. You will begin to see openings appear where walls once stood. You will notice people being drawn to help you without knowing why. You will move with more confidence, speak with more certainty, and act like the version of you who already made it. And because your actions change, your outcomes must change too. This is why transformation begins internally. You don't wait for the world to treat you better before believing you are worthy. You believe in your worth, and then the world treats you accordingly. Every major breakthrough in life starts with an assumption. The assumption that you can, the assumption that you will, the assumption that what you desire is already aligned with you. When you adopt a powerful assumption, doubt loses its grip. You stop questioning if you are capable and start recognizing that the very desire you hold is proof of your capability. You no longer negotiate with fear, you command your destiny through faith. Instead of asking, what if it doesn't work? You ask, why wouldn't it work for me? Assume success, and success becomes inevitable. Assume love, and love reveals itself. Assume abundance, and abundance finds its way. The outer world must adjust to what you finally decide is true about yourself. You are not limited by circumstance. You are limited by assumption. Change what you expect, and life will rush to fulfill that expectation. So choose boldly, believe generously, walk as though everything you desire is already done, because the assumption you hold today is creating the reality you will soon step into. Your inner world has already shifted. Now the outer world is catching up. There are subtle signs within you that reveal something extraordinary has already changed. You think differently than you once did. You expect more now. You no longer settle for what once felt acceptable. These inner shifts are not random. They are signals that a new version of you has awakened, and this version holds a higher standard for life. That shift alone is proof that the breakthrough you desire is already unfolding in the unseen. Transformation never begins on the outside. The moment your mind changes, the moment you adopt a new level of belief, life begins a quiet and powerful rearrangement to reflect that belief. This is why sometimes everything feels still, yet inside you feel movement. You sense that something big is near, and you can't go back to who you were, because that identity no longer fits the reality you're moving into. The outer world has a delay, a period where it adjusts to match your internal growth. Think of a seed buried underground. The sprout exists long before the world sees evidence of it. Yet just because it cannot be seen doesn't mean nothing is happening. Beneath the soil, roots are forming, strength is developing, and the foundation is being prepared. The same occurs in your life. What you have imagined, believed, and aligned with has already been set in motion. It's germinating in the invisible realm. This is why many people feel a disconnect in the middle of their transformation. Their desires expand faster than their surroundings. Their mindset rises higher than their current environment. The life they see no longer matches the life they feel. And this can create doubt, but instead it should create excitement, because that discomfort is evidence that you have already outgrown the old. You are not waiting for change. You are waiting for the physical world to reflect what is already true within you. When your inner world shifts, you start making different choices. You say no to things you once tolerated. You walk away from relationships, habits, and environments that don't align with your new identity. You start expecting better, and expectation is the birthplace of manifestation. Eventually, your old life can no longer hold you because you've become too big for it. Trust this phase. Things may seem slow, but alignment is happening rapidly behind the scenes. People are being positioned, opportunities are being prepared, solutions are being guided toward you. The outer world must eventually bow to the new truth you hold inside. So instead of questioning the process, honor it. Celebrate the fact that you feel different. Celebrate the fact that you have a knowing you didn't have before. Celebrate the rising confidence, the quiet conviction, the peaceful certainty that something great is coming. Your inner shift is the greatest proof of all. Reality is catching up, and when it does, suddenly everything will make sense. The life you already believe in is on its way to greet you. Delay is not denial. Delay is preparation for a bigger manifestation. When you desire something deeply and it doesn't show up right away, the mind is quick to assume failure or rejection. But life has a far wiser rhythm than our impatience can understand. What feels like a pause is often a sacred alignment period, a time where everything necessary for your blessing is being arranged with precision. You're not being refused. You are being prepared. There are dreams so significant, blessings so impactful, and changes so transformational that they require time to build the capacity within you to receive them. If you received everything you wanted the moment you asked for it, you might not yet know how to hold it, sustain it, or grow with it. There is development happening in the delay. You are gaining strength you'll need when the blessing arrives in full form. Delay teaches you patience, resilience, trust, and emotional maturity. It removes what doesn't belong in your future, old doubts, limited beliefs, and people who cannot travel with you to the next level. You are being refined. The vision is being refined, and the timing is being perfected. Sometimes the delay isn't even about you. It's about the pieces around you. The right opportunity must come through the right person at the right moment under the right conditions. One shift too soon could collapse the entire outcome. So instead, life waits for the perfect window. What feels like nothing is happening is often everything is coming together. You may not see the progress, but you can feel it. In the quiet space between desire and fulfillment, your intuition whispers, "Don't give up." You feel a sense of expectancy even when you can't explain it. That feeling is the confirmation that your manifestation is alive and moving toward you. Delay also protects you. The door you wanted to open earlier may have led to disappointment or misalignment. The relationship you thought was the blessing might have drained your spirit. The opportunity that looked so perfect could have been too small for the greatness you're stepping into. Sometimes delay saves you from settling. And the universe is not saying no. It is saying wait. There is more. Bigger results, better timing, greater fulfillment. When it arrives, you'll look back and think, now I understand why it took time. You'll see how every delay was actually a redirection toward something far beyond what you originally asked for. Trust the unseen preparations. Believe that what you desire is worth waiting for. The delay is not holding you back. It's lifting you higher. It's expanding your capacity. So the blessing doesn't just come, it stays, unfolds, and elevates your entire life. Your manifestation is not late. It is maturing. It is growing in magnitude. And when it finally arrives, it will be bigger, deeper, and better than you ever imagined. Delay is not denial. It is the divine setup for a victory far greater than your expectation. Your desire is not random. It is a prophetic glimpse of what is already done. The dreams that rise within you are not accidents or fantasies. They are signals from a deeper truth that exists beyond the physical world. When a desire takes hold of your heart, it is life revealing what has already been created for you in the unseen realm. It is a preview of a destiny that has been prepared long before you recognized it. Think about the things you feel called toward, the success you can picture so clearly, the love you can almost feel, the life that feels like it belongs to you even before it arrives. How could you imagine something you were never meant to experience? You cannot crave what does not already exist for you. Desire is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between your future and your present. Every desire carries a message. This is yours. It rises not from lack, but from memory, a spiritual memory of what is already true. Your mind may not see the path yet, but your soul remembers the destination. That is why desire feels so familiar. It feels like home. Desire is also direction. It points you to the experiences that are aligned with your purpose, the ones that will expand you, strengthen you, and fulfill the deepest part of who you are. Nothing you want deeply is meaningless. Even the things that seem too big or too impossible are placed in your heart because you are meant to grow into the version of yourself who lives that reality. Sometimes people confuse desire with daydreaming, but the difference is this: desire comes with conviction. It doesn't leave you alone. It follows you, whispers to you, reminds you of what you could be. Even when you try to ignore it, it returns stronger, because it is not asking for permission, it is calling you forward. Your desire is the evidence of what already exists for you. The moment a true desire is born, the fulfillment begins, not because you work for it, but because you align with it. You are guided to new thoughts, new actions, and new environments that match what is meant for you. This is why you must trust what you desire, even when you cannot see the steps. The path reveals itself only after the heart says yes. Doubt says, "What if this never happens?" But desire answers with a quiet, steady truth. It already has. You are simply catching up to what has been finished in the unseen. To honor your desires, protect them, nurture them. They are not signs of lack, they are signs of abundance. They are invitations to step into your divine timeline. What you long for is not a coincidence, it is confirmation. The desire within you is a prophecy of your future reality, and every day you believe it, you draw that reality closer until eventually the life you once dreamed becomes the life you now live. The unseen is more real than the seen. Trust the invisible process. Everything you witness in your physical world is an echo, a delayed reflection of what has already occurred in the realm you cannot see. The outer world is the final stage of creation, not the beginning. Every transformation starts in silence, in the hidden corridors of the mind, in the quiet spaces of belief and imagination. Just because something is not visible yet does not mean it does not exist. In fact, the most powerful forces shaping your life are the ones working behind the scenes. Consider how seeds grow underground. Before a single sprout breaks the surface, countless things are happening that no eyes can witness. Roots spread, nourishment flows, and structure forms. If you judged the process by what you could see, you would think nothing was happening. But the unseen work is more real and more important than the final appearance. Your desires, your prayers, your faith, they are seeds planted in the unseen. They are growing, forming, and moving toward their moment of physical expression. The challenge is that we often try to measure progress with our eyes. We want proof before we believe, but real proof begins within. The first movement of manifestation is a shift in your inner state, a deeper conviction, a stronger expectation, a new level of peace. When you feel that shift, that is the evidence that something has already changed. What appears delayed in the physical is already complete in the spiritual. The invisible process also protects and perfects what is coming. Timing is being aligned, the right people are being placed into position, resources are being prepared. One small misalignment could weaken the entire outcome, so the process takes the time needed to ensure the blessing arrives fully developed. Though you cannot see the orchestration, you can trust that it is happening with incredible intelligence and precision. This is why doubt is such a thief. It attacks the root before the sprout has a chance to rise. When you let the outer world dictate your belief, you uproot your own manifestation. But when you trust the unseen, you nourish it. You allow the invisible to continue forming into the inevitable. Faith is not pretending everything is perfect. Faith is knowing everything is unfolding perfectly, even when it looks still. It is having the courage to believe the greater reality is the one you cannot yet touch. The unseen holds every breakthrough you will ever experience. It contains the healing, the abundance, the love, the success, all waiting to materialize. So trust what you feel within more than what you see around you. Trust the quiet growth. Trust the invisible shift. Trust the process that is working for you, not against you. The unseen is not a place of uncertainty. It is the birthplace of your destiny. And soon, what has been growing in silence will rise into sight, undeniable and unstoppable. Expectancy is the magnet. Your great breakthrough is rushing toward you. There is a powerful difference between hoping for something and expecting it. Hope says, I wish it would happen, while expectancy declares it's already on its way. Expectation activates momentum. It sends a signal to life that you are ready to receive what belongs to you. When you live with expectancy, you open the door to opportunities that were always meant for you, but could not reach you through doubt or fear. Expectancy shifts your posture. You start walking like someone who knows things are working out. You speak with confidence, not hesitation. You make decisions based on where you're going, not where you've been. Even your energy changes. And that energy is magnetic. People feel it. Circumstances respond to it. The universe aligns with it. That is why breakthroughs often show up the moment you stop questioning whether they will and start expecting that they must. When you expect good things, you tune your awareness to possibility. You notice the signs, you catch the opportunities, you step into moments that others overlook. The exact same environment that once felt stagnant suddenly reveals pathways forward. Nothing outside has changed, but you have. And so everything around you must follow. Many people sabotage their own blessings with negative expectation. They anticipate disappointment, so disappointment arrives. They expect delays, so delays meet them. They believe things always go wrong for them, so life consistently confirms that belief. Expectation is a law, and it never fails. This is why shifting your expectation is one of the most powerful ways to transform your reality. Your great breakthrough is not crawling to you slowly, it is rushing. The only thing that can slow it down is the belief that it won't come. When you expect your manifestation, you accelerate it. The divine timing doesn't change, but your alignment does. You become a match for what you've been asking for. Every day you are sending a message to the universe through your expectations. Ask yourself, are you expecting loss or expansion? Are you expecting fear or favor? Are you expecting obstacles or openings? Whatever the answer, life responds accordingly. Expectancy is faith in motion. It's the knowing that what you desire has already begun its journey toward you. It's trusting that the pieces are falling together even when you can't see how. It's reminding yourself that if it weren't meant for you, the desire wouldn't exist within you. Wake up each day anticipating good news. Act like the phone call is coming. Prepare like the opportunity is already scheduled. Live as if the blessing has a deadline, and it's soon. Your breakthrough has already heard your name. Every step, every decision, and every moment of belief is drawing it closer. Keep expecting. Keep believing. The magnet of your faith is pulling your future toward you, and very soon, what you have been waiting for will arrive in a way that leaves you amazed at how perfectly everything was aligned. Your breakthrough is not uncertain, it is inevitable. Every moment of your journey has been leading to this shift, the inner transformation that is now calling forth a new reality. Your assumptions have changed, your inner world has expanded, and your belief has risen to match the greatness destined for you. Life is no longer responding to your fears, it is responding to your faith. What was once unseen is now unfolding. What appeared delayed is only being perfected. Your desires are divine hints of what already belongs to you, and the expectancy in your heart is pulling your breakthrough closer with every passing second. Stand boldly in this truth. Things are moving faster for you. The manifestation you've prayed for, imagined, and believed in is on its way, rushing into your life with a force that cannot be stopped. Walk forward with confidence. Keep trusting the invisible process. Celebrate what is coming, because soon you will hold in your hands what you once only held in your mind. Thank you for listening, and thank you for believing in the power within you. The best part of your story is just beginning. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when the unseen begins to stir. A silent rearrangement takes place in the realm of energy, and what was once delayed suddenly moves toward you with divine precision. This is that moment. The shift is here. You may not see it with your eyes yet, but feel it. The air is different. The rhythm of your days is changing. What once felt heavy is beginning to dissolve. What once seemed far is quietly drawing near. This is not coincidence. This is consciousness transforming reality. The energy of this moment is not asking you to chase, strive, or struggle. It is inviting you to receive. But to receive, you must first be ready. Ready not through effort, but through belief. Readiness is not about doing more, it's about becoming more. Becoming receptive, becoming still, becoming aligned with what you already know to be yours. Every thought you think carries vibration. Every image you dwell upon becomes a seed of reality. The shift that is occurring now responds to the frequency of certainty, not the noise of doubt. If you keep saying, I hope it happens, the energy hears uncertainty. But when you declare it is done, the universe moves to make it visible. So, in this new energy, your work is not to force, but to feel, to live from the end. To occupy the state of fulfillment so fully that nothing outside you can convince you otherwise. Do not wait for signs. Be the sign. Do not wait for change. Embody the change. Do not wait for permission. Become the vibration of receiving. You may notice relationships fading, doors closing, plans shifting. Do not resist it. These are not losses. They are alignments. The universe is clearing what cannot remain in your next chapter. This shift is not against you, it is for you. It is pulling you into divine alignment with everything you once prayed for. And as you rest in faith, as you hold the inner picture with quiet confidence, you will see the evidence unfold naturally, effortlessly. What seemed impossible will appear ordinary. What once took years will unfold in moments. So, pause now. Breathe. Feel the truth beneath these words. Something in you already knows the shift is here. Your only task is to stay open, stay faithful, and stay ready to receive. Because when consciousness changes, everything changes. And when energy aligns, everything you desire must appear. Everything you experience in your outer world is a reflection of what is taking place within you. The events, people, and circumstances that fill your life are not random occurrences, nor are they governed by luck or chance. They are the outpicturing of your inner state, the silent movement of your consciousness made visible. Consciousness is the cause of all phenomena. It is the creative power that molds the invisible into form. Whatever you accept as true, whatever you persist in feeling real, eventually takes shape in your external world. Most people believe that life happens to them. They see themselves as victims of circumstance, reacting to situations beyond their control. Yet the truth is far more profound. Life happens through you, not to you. The outer world is nothing more than a mirror, faithfully reflecting the contents of your consciousness. If you want to change what you see in that mirror, you must change the image you hold within. You cannot alter the reflection by polishing the glass. You must transform the face that looks into it. Consciousness operates by law. It does not respond to words, appearances, or desperate effort. It responds to feeling. The energy that governs your life listens to the vibration behind your thoughts, not the surface of your speech. When you say, I am abundant, but inwardly feel lack, the creative power responds to the feeling of lack. When you affirm, I am loved, but secretly doubt your worth, the energy aligns with your doubt. You cannot deceive the law. It works in perfect harmony with your dominant state of awareness. To awaken to this truth is to take responsibility for your reality. It means understanding that your outer world is not an enemy to be fought, but a reflection to be understood. Each challenge, delay, or setback reveals the beliefs you still hold unconsciously. The world is your mirror, showing you the state from which you live. When you meet life with resentment, fear, or resistance, you reinforce the very pattern you wish to escape. But when you approach it with awareness and faith, the reflection begins to soften and change. This understanding frees you from helplessness. You are not at the mercy of conditions, you are the maker of them. The shift begins the moment you stop reacting to appearances and start creating from within. When you choose to dwell in the feeling of peace, the outer world reorganizes itself to reflect peace. When you embody gratitude, opportunities begin to unfold in unexpected ways. When you persist in love, even those who once opposed you begin to shift. The secret is not in effort, but in awareness. To know that consciousness is the cause is to live deliberately, to guard the doorway of your mind, and to select only those thoughts that align with your desired state. Everything unfolds from the seed you plant in imagination and nourish with feeling. The invisible always precedes the visible, and the unseen energy of belief always shapes the seen reality of experience. Change your consciousness, and the entire world rearranges itself in obedience to your inner command. The energy that shapes your life moves in perfect harmony with your expectations. The universe is not responding to your words or wishes, it is responding to the vibration you carry, the silent conviction beneath your thoughts. Expectation is the bridge between desire and manifestation. It is the inner agreement that says, "This is already mine." When that agreement is made with certainty, unseen forces begin to rearrange the entire field of your reality to match the frequency of that belief. Expectation is not the same as hope. Hope waits, but expectation knows. Hope looks toward the future, but expectation lives in the now. It is the quiet confidence that what you have imagined is already accomplished in the invisible realm and only awaits its appointed hour to appear. The moment you shift from wondering if something will happen to knowing that it already has, the vibration of your being changes. And because energy always matches energy, your outer world begins to reflect that shift in perfect symmetry. You have experienced this truth many times without realizing it. Think of the days when you woke with certainty that something good would happen, how effortlessly events unfolded, how opportunities seemed to find you. Then recall the days of doubt or dread, when nothing seemed to go right. The difference was not in the world itself, but in the energy you projected into it. The universe is an unerring mirror, echoing back to you the frequency you broadcast through your thoughts and emotions. Expectation is the creative stance of consciousness. Whatever you expect, whether success or failure, love or rejection, abundance or lack, becomes the pattern to which energy conforms. The universe has no power to contradict the vibration you sustain. When you expect disappointment, you unconsciously prepare for it. You speak words of caution, act with hesitation, and interpret neutral events as signs of failure. But when you expect fulfillment, you move differently. You speak with confidence, walk with assurance, and interpret every delay as divine timing rather than denial. This is not wishful thinking. It is the spiritual law of correspondence. Inner frequency calls forth outer form. The world cannot show you anything that your consciousness has not already accepted as real. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you expect. To align energy with the expectation of good, you must train your mind to dwell in the end of your desire. Imagine yourself already possessing what you seek and feel the emotion of that completion. The more natural that feeling becomes, the more magnetic your energy grows. Doubt weakens the signal, faith strengthens it. And when faith becomes your natural vibration, the universe rushes to confirm it. So look not to appearances. They are the shadows of past expectations. Instead, center your awareness in the certainty of fulfillment. Assume that life is already conspiring in your favor, that the outcome you desire is inevitable. As you do, your inner frequency rises to meet that assumption, and the energy of the universe, ever obedient, aligns perfectly with your expectation, transforming your reality to mirror the belief you hold within. Receiving is not a matter of chance, but of readiness. Life does not withhold anything from you, it only mirrors what you are capable of sustaining. You do not receive according to what you want, but according to what you have become. Every desire carries a certain frequency, a spiritual weight. To receive it fully, your inner state must be strong enough, clear enough, and open enough to hold that vibration without resistance or fear. This is why some prayers seem unanswered, not because the universe has denied them, but because the vessel of consciousness is not yet prepared to receive their fulfillment. True preparation begins within. It is not about doing more, chasing more, or proving your worth. It is about creating inner alignment, the harmony between what you ask for and what you believe yourself to be. Many desire abundance while inwardly identifying with lack. Many ask for love while secretly believing they are unworthy of it. These contradictions split the flow of energy, causing delay and confusion. Readiness comes when your belief, emotion, and self-concept unite into one clear frequency, the frequency of having already received. Faith is the first movement of readiness. Faith says, even if I do not yet see it, I know it is done. Faith transforms waiting into assurance. It is the invisible bridge between imagination and manifestation. Every act of faith expands your capacity to receive because it teaches you to trust the unseen order of life. It is not blind optimism. It is divine recognition that creation begins long before it becomes visible. When faith becomes your foundation, you no longer strive. You allow. You no longer beg, you expect. You no longer fear delay, you rest in divine timing. Surrender is the next stage of preparation. To surrender does not mean to give up your desire, but to release your attachment to how and when it will come. The ego wants control, the spirit wants flow. When you surrender, you remove resistance and open the channel through which the blessing can move. You stop trying to manage the process and instead align with it. This state of surrender creates an energetic openness, a space for miracles to enter. Inner alignment is the final expression of readiness. It is when your thoughts, emotions, and actions reflect the same truth, that what you desire is already yours in consciousness. You no longer oscillate between belief and doubt, between excitement and fear. You dwell in a quiet knowing that the energy has already shifted, that the outcome is inevitable. The universe never withholds, it simply matches your level of preparedness. When you have expanded your consciousness to hold peace, love, wealth, or success without fear, it must appear. For there is nothing left in you to resist it. The door of receiving opens from within, and the moment you are ready, what was once delayed flows into your life effortlessly. Readiness is the signal that tells the universe, I am now capable of carrying what I have asked for. Imagination is the silent architect of reality. Every structure, invention, or transformation that exists in the physical world began first as an unseen image in someone's mind. The world you experience is nothing more than the crystallization of countless imaginal acts, conscious or unconscious. To understand this truth is to recognize that imagination is not a daydream or fantasy. It is the creative faculty through which all things are born. The images you hold in your inner vision form the blueprint from which life builds your outer circumstances. When you imagine, you are not escaping reality, you are shaping it. The moment you enter an imaginal scene and feel it to be real, you activate a spiritual law that begins to move unseen energies toward manifestation. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is the key. It is not enough to visualize. You must embody the emotion of already having what you desire. The universe does not respond to pictures alone. It responds to vibration, and feeling is the language of vibration. When you feel something is done, your energy declares to the universe, "This is who I am." Imagination is the meeting place between the visible and invisible worlds. It is the space where thought becomes energy and energy becomes form. Every time you dwell in a mental image of fulfillment, you are constructing the pattern that reality must follow. The outer world is slow to catch up, but it always does. What you persist in imagining with conviction must eventually harden into fact, for imagination is the divine power that governs creation. The mistake many people make is to use imagination only to recall the past or to replay fear. They build futures out of worry and uncertainty, not realizing they are unconsciously writing the script their life will perform. Imagination is always at work. The question is not whether you are using it, but whether you are using it consciously. When you deliberately direct your imagination toward joy, success, and peace, you are rewriting the energetic pattern of your destiny. To live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled is to move beyond doubt and time. It is to step into the reality of your desire as though it were already completed. This state is not make-believe, it is creative faith. The moment you occupy that state, the unseen world begins to rearrange itself to support it. People, circumstances, and opportunities appear at the right time, drawn by the magnetic power of your inner certainty. Imagination requires discipline. It asks you to turn away from appearances and trust the unseen. It demands that you persist in your inner vision, even when outer evidence contradicts it. But once you master this, you awaken to your true creative authority. You realize that nothing is beyond your reach because reality itself is pliable, shaped by the images you hold and the feelings you sustain. To imagine is to participate in the divine act of creation. Every time you close your eyes and see yourself as already fulfilled, you are planting a seed in the field of infinite potential. Nurture that seed with faith and feeling, and in due season it must bloom into your lived experience. Even when nothing seems to be happening on the surface, divine energy is always in motion. Life is never still. It is constantly rearranging itself according to the vibration you hold. There are moments when you may feel as though nothing is moving, as if your prayers have vanished into silence. Yet, in that stillness, a higher order is at work. Unseen forces are aligning people, timing, and circumstances to bring you into perfect harmony with what you have asked for. The shift has already begun. It is not something to wait for, but something to trust. The human mind often struggles with divine timing. It wants visible progress, immediate confirmation, and constant reassurance. But creation unfolds in stages, much like a seed beneath the soil. You cannot see the roots growing, yet they are preparing the way for the flower. The same is true in your life. What appears as delay is often divine preparation. The energy that governs all things knows exactly what must move, what must end, and what must emerge for your desire to manifest perfectly. When you resist what is happening, you interfere with this flow. Resistance says, it should not be this way. It clings to control, forcing outcomes and fearing change. Yet resistance only slows what is already set in motion. Acceptance, on the other hand, accelerates manifestation. To accept does not mean to resign, it means to trust that everything unfolding is purposeful, even if it defies logic. Acceptance opens the channel through which divine energy can move freely, without obstruction from fear or doubt. Often the greatest transformations occur just before the evidence appears. The old must dissolve to make space for the new. Relationships may shift, opportunities may fall away, routines may feel disrupted, not because things are falling apart, but because they are falling into place. The universe never subtracts without intending to multiply. What feels like loss is frequently a sacred clearing, an energetic adjustment to match the new frequency you have called in. You cannot always perceive the details of this realignment, but you can sense its presence. There is a quiet knowing that something beneath the surface is changing. Synchronicities begin to appear, the right words, people, or ideas arrive effortlessly. Doors that once resisted you start to open with ease. This is the confirmation that the shift is active, that divine order is orchestrating events with precision far beyond your own planning. Your task is simple. Stay aligned and trust. Continue living as though what you desire is already done. Speak the language of faith, not fear. Feel gratitude for what is unfolding, even when you do not yet understand it. Every act of faith strengthens the current of divine energy moving on your behalf. Remember, the universe responds to your inner state, not your outer struggle. When you surrender to the flow and release the need to control, everything accelerates. Divine energy was never idle. It was waiting for your alignment. The moment you stop resisting and begin to allow, the unseen becomes seen, and the shift that was already in motion reveals its full glory in your life. There is a power that moves quietly beneath all creation, a wisdom that does not shout, yet governs everything with perfect precision. To access it, you must learn to be still. In stillness, the noise of the outer world fades, and the truth of your being begins to speak. It is in this sacred silence that you remember who you are, not a seeker chasing outcomes, but a creator whose very awareness shapes reality. When you quiet the restless mind and rest in the knowing of your inner being, you stop striving and start allowing. In stillness, you receive what effort could never earn. The human mind is addicted to motion. It wants to plan, analyze, and control. It measures time, counts progress, and seeks proof that something is working. But spiritual creation does not move at the speed of thought. It moves at the rhythm of trust. The moment you stop pushing and begin to rest in faith, divine order takes over. The power that formed galaxies and orchestrates seasons now moves on your behalf. What you could not solve through struggle begins to align through stillness. Stillness is not inactivity, it is alignment. It is the conscious decision to step back from fear, and allow the deeper intelligence of life to unfold. When you quiet your mind, you stop sending mixed signals into the universe. You cease contradicting your desire with worry. The energy that was scattered in striving becomes focused, pure, and magnetic. You move from chaos to clarity, from tension to trust. In stillness, you become a vessel of receptivity. The universe speaks in whispers, and you can only hear it when your mind is silent. Inspiration flows, guidance appears. Solutions that once seemed hidden rise naturally from within. You begin to sense the rhythm of divine timing, when to act, when to wait, and when to release. This awareness brings an ease that no external achievement can provide. You realize that miracles do not come from frantic doing, but from calm allowing. Stillness also reveals truth. It strips away the illusion that fulfillment lies outside of you. You discover that the peace you have been searching for was never in the future. It was waiting quietly within the present moment. From that peace, creation flows effortlessly. The outer world bends to the vibration of inner calm. Circumstances begin to reflect the serenity you embody. To be still and know is to live in trust. To know that life is unfolding perfectly, even when appearances suggest otherwise. It is to walk through uncertainty with quiet confidence, knowing that divine energy is orchestrating every detail. Stillness becomes your sanctuary, your power, your prayer. So release the need to chase. Let go of the pressure to figure everything out. Withdraw your attention from the noise of fear and return to the awareness of being. In that sacred space, you become one with the creative power of the universe. And from that union, everything you seek begins to seek you, not through effort, but through the effortless grace of stillness. Everything that happens in your life begins and ends within you. Consciousness is the root, imagination the bridge, expectation the magnet, and readiness the vessel. The energy of creation is not somewhere outside. It is moving through you right now, responding to every belief, every feeling, every quiet knowing you hold. The shift you have been sensing is not coming, it is already here. Every experience, every challenge, every divine delay has been preparing you to step into this new frequency of alignment and ease. Now is the time to stop striving and start allowing, to rest in the truth that life is working for you, not against you. When you believe, when you feel, when you surrender, you become the open channel through which miracles naturally flow. The energy of the universe is rearranging itself in your favor. Trust that, breathe into that, live from that. Be still and know that you are already in harmony with the power that creates worlds. The moment you align your inner world with faith, peace, and gratitude, your outer world will begin to reflect the same. The shift is in motion. Your only task is to receive it. Thank you for sharing this sacred moment of awareness and awakening. May you walk in faith, live in alignment, and remember always, what you seek is already within you. Today I bring a message that will awaken a new sense of hope within you. Take a deep breath and listen carefully. This is the sign you've been waiting for. Something huge is coming your way. The first thing to understand is this: your imagination is not a fantasy. It is the blueprint of your reality. Every success you have ever achieved, every joy you have ever felt, first existed as a thought, a vision, a feeling. The universe responds not to your doubts, not to your fears, but to the clarity and intensity of your inner conviction. Right now, the small signs around you, a call, an unexpected opportunity, a message, even a fleeting thought, are confirmations. They are the universe whispering, "You are on the right path. Keep going." Don't ignore them. Do not dismiss the quiet nudges of destiny. They are proof that your larger victory is already on its way. To welcome this monumental change, you must feel it now. Don't wait for the evidence to appear outside. Close your eyes and imagine yourself living the life that is coming. Feel the joy, the pride, the peace. Let these feelings saturate your heart. The universe responds to the energy you emit. When your inner world is aligned with your desired outcome, the external world cannot help but reflect it. But be warned, your imagination alone is not enough. It must be paired with faith, without doubt. Trust in the invisible, even when the visible is slow to respond. Doubt is the only barrier between you and what is coming. Replace every thought of worry with unwavering certainty. Know that what is destined for you, persistence is your ally. External circumstances may seem to contradict your vision, but they are merely temporary distractions. Keep seeing the end in your mind. Keep living in the emotion of already having received it. Persistence in consciousness creates inevitability in reality. Embrace gratitude as if the blessing has already arrived. Thank the universe for the opportunities, the guidance, and the breakthroughs that are on their way. Gratitude is not just a polite gesture. It is a powerful force that accelerates the arrival of your desires. So if you have been waiting for a sign, here it is. Look around you, within you, and know that something huge is coming your way. Prepare yourself. Imagine it, feel it, trust it, and when it arrives, you will recognize it not as a surprise, but as a natural outcome of your unwavering inner vision. Your moment is near. Step into it with confidence. Step into it with joy. And step into it knowing that the universe has already conspired in your favor. Every creation begins in the mind. Before a building rises, before a business thrives, before a masterpiece is born, it first exists as a thought, a vision, an idea imagined vividly within someone's consciousness. Your imagination is not merely a place of escape or fantasy. It is the creative engine that shapes your life. When you fully imagine the life you desire, when you allow yourself to feel it, see it, and live it internally, you are sending a signal to the universe that this reality is already yours. The power of imagination is often underestimated because it works quietly, invisibly, yet it is the origin of all tangible results. Nothing can appear in your external world that has not first been imagined, first been felt as real, first been entertained in your consciousness as an actual experience. When you engage your imagination, you are not simply daydreaming, you are participating in a profound act of creation. Each thought, each feeling, each vivid mental picture builds a momentum that draws circumstances, opportunities, and people into alignment with the reality you are holding within. It is important to understand that imagination is not bound by the limitations of the current physical world. The constraints you see outside yourself are only temporary reflections of your present state of consciousness. By imagining the life you desire as already complete, you are stepping beyond those limitations, opening the door to possibilities that the mind tethered to doubt cannot even conceive. Many people wait for external conditions to be perfect before they feel justified in dreaming or acting. But this is a reversal of the natural order. First, the inner world must be cultivated. Only then can the outer world reflect it. When you allow your imagination to take control, when you feel the joy, the fulfillment, and the satisfaction of the life you want as though it has already arrived, you are planting seeds in the fertile ground of reality. These seeds may remain invisible for a time, but their growth is invisible because imagination is the precursor to all manifestation. Imagination is more than visualizing. It is believing, feeling, and experiencing your desires from the standpoint of their completion. When you live in this inner reality consistently, the external world has no choice but to catch up. Opportunities, ideas, and synchronicities appear, seemingly out of nowhere, yet they are drawn by the magnetic force of your inner conviction. Your imagination, therefore, is not a trivial mental exercise. It is the most practical tool you possess. Today, na trejo trovare, co trejo trovare trejo trejo. Every great achievement, every life-changing breakthrough, every innovation in history began in the invisible world of imagination before it became tangible. To embrace the power of your imagination fully, you must commit to it daily. Dedicate time to picture your life as you wish it to be. Feel it in your body, in your emotions, and in your heart. Let no skepticism dilute its force. The moment you treat your imagination as reality, the moment you live within it with unwavering belief, you set in motion a force that cannot fail. Everything begins within, and everything outside will eventually reflect the richness, the abundance, and the success that you have first dared to imagine. To truly manifest the life you desire, it is not enough to simply think about it or to visualize it superficially. The key is to live in the feeling of having already received it. Emotion is the bridge between your current reality and the reality you wish to experience. When you allow yourself to feel the joy, the satisfaction, the peace, and the fulfillment of your desired outcome as if it has already arrived, you are aligning yourself with the very essence of creation. The universe responds not to idle thoughts or wishful thinking, but to the vibrations of feeling that you emit from within. Your emotions are the language of manifestation, and when they are fully aligned with the reality you seek, the external world is compelled to conform. Many people make the mistake of waiting for circumstances to change before they allow themselves to feel success, happiness, or abundance. They believe that once the external world reflects their desires, they can finally feel the corresponding emotions. This is a reversal of the natural law of creation. The feeling must come first. You must inhabit the end result in your consciousness before it materializes outside. By doing this, you create a magnetic field that draws the necessary people, events, and conditions to you. Every great achievement, every remarkable life transformation begins with this inner experience of having already won. To practice this, close your eyes and imagine a moment in the future as if it has already happened. See yourself living the life you desire, hear the sounds, sense the atmosphere, and most importantly, feel the emotions as though there is no tomorrow. Let the happiness, the pride, and the relief course through your body. The more real and tangible you make this internal experience, the stronger the signal you send to the universe. It is through this intense emotional involvement that your imagination is transformed into reality. The feeling of the end result is not fleeting or shallow, it is deep, immersive, and unwavering. It carries with it the authority of reality itself. When you consistently dwell in this state, doubts and fears lose their power over you. You are no longer dependent on the external world to confirm your success. Instead, you have anchored it firmly in your inner life. This inner alignment creates a natural flow where opportunities, resources, and synchronicities appear effortlessly. Life begins to move in harmony with your internal state. Living in the feeling of the end result also cultivates patience and trust. You understand that the world outside is merely reflecting the order you have already established within. You no longer chase outcomes or struggle against circumstances. Instead, you embody the reality you desire, knowing that the external manifestation is inevitable. Every emotion you experience in this state becomes a signal that accelerates the arrival of your desires. When you truly master this practice, your consciousness becomes a magnet, drawing everything you need to make your vision tangible. You are no longer a passive dreamer. You are an active creator, living in the fullness of what is already yours. By feeling the end result now, you bridge the gap between what is and what can be, transforming your life from the inside out, one emotion at a time. Life is constantly speaking to you, though most people fail to listen. Every small success, every chance encounter, every moment that seems coincidental carries a deeper meaning. These are not random events, they are signs, confirmations from the universe that you are moving in the right direction. The universe communicates in subtle ways, guiding you, encouraging you, and signaling that what you have been envisioning is beginning to take shape. The challenge is that most of us are so focused on what hasn't yet arrived that we overlook the evidence that is already present. Every small win, every unexpected opportunity, and even every challenge that nudges you toward growth is a signal that the larger plan is in motion. To manifest your desires, it is essential to develop the awareness to notice these signs, to acknowledge them, and to use them as fuel for your faith and persistence. Signs often appear in forms that are easy to dismiss. A text from someone just at the right moment, a sudden idea that solves a problem, or a chance meeting that opens new doors. They may seem small or insignificant at first glance, but their purpose is immense. These are confirmations that your inner state, your imagination, and your focused intention are beginning to ripple outward into the world. And the universe is aligning circumstances to match the vibration of your desires. And these signals are the evidence. When you start to notice them consistently, you will realize that nothing happens randomly. Every event, no matter how minor it seems, is part of a greater orchestration designed to bring you closer to your goal. By recognizing and appreciating these confirmations, you reinforce your faith and strengthen the connection between your inner vision and external reality. Each sign you acknowledge becomes a stepping stone, a reassurance that you are exactly where you need to be, even if the full manifestation has not yet appeared. Awareness is key. The more attuned you are to these signals, the more clearly you can interpret the universe's guidance. Life begins to feel less like a struggle and more like a series of synchronistic events that support your journey. Signs also help you maintain alignment. They show you when to move forward, when to pause, and when to trust the timing of your dreams. Ignoring them leads to doubt and frustration, while noticing them cultivates confidence, patience, and clarity. Each confirmation you receive is a reminder that you are co-creating your reality with the universe and that your desires are not only valid but inevitable. The beauty of this process is that as soon as you start noticing signs, they multiply. Your consciousness begins to recognize patterns and synchronicities that were always there but previously invisible to you. Life itself becomes a mirror, reflecting your inner state. The more you attune to these confirmations, the more evidence appears that what you are seeking is already on its way. In truth, signs are not just random occurrences. They are proof that the universe is responding to your inner alignment. When you see them, acknowledge them, and trust them, you reinforce the invisible current that is carrying your desires into form. Every small success, every meaningful encounter, every synchronicity is a reminder you are on the right path and the universe is indeed working in your favor. Faith is the invisible bridge between the life you currently see and the life you desire. It is the unwavering trust in the unseen, the certainty that what you are envisioning is already taking form, even if your eyes have not yet witnessed it. Many people stumble in their journey of manifestation because they allow doubt to creep in. Doubt is the single greatest obstacle to creation. It acts as a wall that blocks the flow of energy from your inner vision to the external world. When you doubt, you signal to the universe that you do not truly believe in the reality of your desires, and as a result, manifestation slows or stalls. Unshakable faith, on the other hand, is the key that unlocks the door to transformation. Faith is not wishful thinking or idle hope. It is an active state of consciousness in which you trust fully in what cannot yet be seen. You act, think, and feel as though your desire is already accomplished. You hold it firmly in your imagination and refuse to let temporary circumstances, setbacks, or delays alter your inner conviction. Every moment spent doubting creates resistance, while every moment spent trusting strengthens the invisible forces that are aligning to bring your vision into reality. Faith, in its purest form, does not question the how or the when. It simply trusts that the outcome is inevitable because it is already present in the unseen. To cultivate this kind of faith, you must learn to detach from the evidence of your senses and anchor yourself in the certainty of your inner knowing. The mind may try to reason, to argue, and to rely on logic, but true manifestation comes from a level beyond reasoning, where belief and feeling dominate. Imagine planting a seed and then watering it, not just once, but consistently without seeing immediate growth. You trust that it will sprout because you know the laws of nature work reliably. In the same way, faith is the nurturing force that allows your inner creations to take root and flourish in the unseen world until they appear in form. Faith without doubt transforms your energy. When you maintain unwavering belief, your thoughts, feelings, and actions align with your desired outcome. You no longer waste energy resisting or fearing. Every action you take is guided by confidence in the inevitable fulfillment of your dreams. The universe responds to this energy. Opportunities open, obstacles dissolve, and coincidences multiply. Faith creates a magnetic field that draws your desires toward you because your inner state already matches the reality you are seeking. It is important to recognize that challenges, delays, or uncertainty are not signs of failure. They are tests of faith. They are invitations to strengthen your belief and hold fast to the vision in your mind. When you can remain steady in faith, no matter what appears outside, you are no longer vulnerable to doubt. You become the embodiment of certainty, and certainty is irresistible. Faith without doubt is the engine of creation. Trusting in what you cannot yet see allows the unseen to become the seen. Doubt only obstructs, while unwavering belief propels your desires into reality. When you learn to embrace this level of trust, transformation is no longer a possibility, it is inevitable. Persistence in the inner vision is the secret that separates those who achieve their dreams from those who merely wish for them. The outer world is often unpredictable, full of challenges, delays, and obstacles that test our resolve. Yet the external circumstances are not the measure of what is possible. They are merely reflections of the inner state. What determines the ultimate outcome is how consistently you hold the vision of your desired reality in your mind. When you keep seeing yourself already enjoying the outcome you seek, no matter what appears outside, you are reinforcing the vibration that attracts it into your life. Persistence in consciousness is far more powerful than any amount of effort or struggle in the physical world, because the outer world is always shaped by the inner world first. To persist in your inner vision, you must cultivate the ability to detach from temporary setbacks and distractions. Life may present situations that seem contradictory to your goal, a delay, a rejection, or an unexpected obstacle, but these do not indicate failure. They are merely signals that your faith and focus are being tested. The moment you allow these external events to dictate your belief, you weaken the very energy that is drawing your desired reality to you. Instead, maintain the image of the end result in your mind with unwavering clarity and emotional intensity. See yourself living the life you desire. Feel the joy, pride, and satisfaction of that reality as if it has already arrived. This mental persistence gradually reshapes your perception of the world and aligns your actions and decisions with your ultimate goal. Persistence is not about forcing reality to bend to your will through struggle or sheer effort. It is about holding a steady, unwavering image of the desired outcome in your consciousness until the outer world conforms to it naturally. This requires patience, discipline, and trust. The more often you return to your inner vision, the stronger it becomes, and the more resistant it is to doubt or fear. The mind, when trained in this way, becomes a powerful instrument for manifestation. Thoughts, emotions, and actions all begin to flow from this central vision, creating a consistent energy that attracts the necessary people, opportunities, and circumstances. It is also essential to recognize that persistence in the inner vision is cumulative. Each time you imagine the completed reality with emotion and clarity, you are reinforcing the foundation of its eventual manifestation. Like a sculptor gradually refining a masterpiece, repeated attention to the inner image shapes the external world in alignment with your vision. And when you visualize, even if weeks or months pass before you see tangible results, your persistence has been quietly building momentum in the unseen realm, preparing the way for a breakthrough. By refusing to be swayed by the changing conditions of the outer world and continuing to inhabit the state of already having achieved your goal, you create a magnetic pull that no obstacle can resist. Your inner persistence signals to the universe that you are fully committed, that you will not settle for anything less than the reality you have envisioned. The outer world eventually conforms because what is firmly held in consciousness cannot be denied. Persistence in the inner vision is the unshakable practice of living mentally and emotionally in the end result. No matter the circumstances, you continue to see yourself already enjoying your victory. This mental persistence is the invisible force that shapes the tangible world. By maintaining this inner discipline, you become a creator who transforms possibility into reality, one consistent thought and feeling at a time. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in the art of manifestation. When you express gratitude as if your desire has already been fulfilled, you are sending a signal to the universe that you are not only aware of your blessings, but also fully ready to receive more. Gratitude is more than a polite acknowledgement. It is an active magnetic energy that magnifies attraction and aligns your consciousness with the reality you seek. It tells the universe that you are in harmony with the abundance that is already on its way to you, and in doing so, it accelerates the arrival of your desires. Many people underestimate the power of gratitude because they wait for circumstances to improve before they feel thankful. They believe that gratitude is a response to what they already have. However, the true law of manifestation works in reverse. Gratitude must precede the experience. By giving thanks in advance, you are affirming the inevitability of the event or outcome, making it already real in the unseen world. When you feel genuine appreciation for the life you are creating, you transform your consciousness into a fertile ground where your desires can take root and flourish. Expressing gratitude requires more than simply reciting words. It is a feeling, an internal state that must permeate your entire being. Imagine your desired outcome has already occurred. See it, feel it, and immerse yourself in the joy, relief, and satisfaction it brings. Then give thanks with your whole heart. Thank the universe, life itself, or the unseen forces that have already orchestrated your success. This is not an act of desperation or hope. It is a confident declaration that your inner vision is already being realized. The more sincere and vivid your feelings of gratitude, the stronger the signal you send, and the more the universe responds with evidence and opportunities. Gratitude also shifts your focus from lack to abundance. When you dwell on what is missing, you strengthen the energy of absence, which delays manifestation. When you focus on gratitude, you amplify the energy of fulfillment. Every act of genuine thanks raises your vibration and draws circumstances, people, and events into alignment with your inner state. Gratitude functions like a magnet. It pulls toward you everything that corresponds to the reality you have already embraced emotionally and mentally. The practice of gratitude should become a daily habit, a natural part of how you inhabit your inner world. Begin and end each day by reflecting on what you are grateful for, both in your present life and in the life you are creating. Let your feelings of gratitude grow until they are so strong that they fill every thought and emotion. This persistent state of appreciation primes the mind and heart to receive effortlessly, because the universe recognizes that you are ready. Gratitude is not just a tool for happiness, it is a mechanism of creation. By giving thanks as though the event has already occurred, you establish the frequency of your desired reality, strengthen your inner alignment, and open yourself to receive. It bridges the gap between imagination and manifestation, between desire and fulfillment. When practiced consistently, gratitude transforms expectation into reality, impatience into trust, and thought into experience. It is the secret ingredient that accelerates arrival and makes the invisible visible. As we reach the close of this message, remember this: every vision you hold, every feeling you nurture, every sign you notice, every act of faith, persistence, and gratitude is shaping the reality that is coming to you. The universe is already aligning in your favor. What you have imagined, what you have felt as real in your heart, is inevitable. Your job is not to chase a struggle, but to remain steadfast in your inner vision, to trust, to feel, and to give thanks as if it is already done. Know that something huge is coming your way. Prepare yourself to receive it with joy, with confidence, and with unwavering belief. Your imagination is the seed, your emotions are the water, your faith is the sun, and your gratitude is the soil. Nurture them all and watch your life bloom in ways beyond what you can currently imagine. Thank you for taking this time to listen, to reflect, and to open yourself to the power within. Remember, the signs are here, the universe is moving, and your moment is already on its way. Thank you. There comes a moment in every person's journey when the atmosphere around them begins to shift. Not because something outside changed, but because something inside awakened. Today, I want you to recognize that this is your moment. This is your time of divine favor. This is the season where you rise, not through effort alone, but through the inner acceptance that you are chosen for expansion, elevation, and increase. Divine favor does not arrive with fireworks, it arrives in a whisper, a quiet knowing that life is aligning for your good. Long before opportunities knock on your door, they form inside your consciousness. Every blessing you are preparing to receive is already waiting in the invisible realm, shaping itself to match the state you hold within. When you feel favored, when you walk with that quiet confidence, you become magnetic to the greater things meant for your life. Get ready, because more is coming. And it's not coming from the outside in, it's coming from the inside out. The moment you choose to occupy the state of being favored, life begins to rearrange itself. People show up, resources appear, open doors that once seemed impossible suddenly swing wide, not because they magically changed, but because you did. Your inner world is the architect of your outer experience, and favor is a state, a consciousness you step into. Understand this: your imagination is not a daydreaming tool, it is a spiritual instrument. Whatever you vividly accept as yours in the unseen must eventually take shape in the seen. If you can feel it now, you will walk into it later. If you can assume it now, it must materialize. That is the quiet brilliance of divine favor. It does not ask you to struggle, it asks you to assume. Maybe life has challenged you lately. Maybe doors seemed to close, people walked away, opportunities faded. Don't misinterpret that. Often, the greatest difficulties appear right before the greatest rise. When the old state is dissolving, it can feel like chaos, but it is actually transformation. You are shedding what no longer fits because something greater is preparing to arrive. The pressure you feel is not punishment, it is preparation. This is your time, not next year, not someday in the future, now. The moment you claim favor, you activate it. The moment you accept abundance, it begins forming. The moment you step into the feeling of more, the universe says, let it be so. Your life expands to match the assumption you consistently hold. So get ready for increase, for promotion, for unexpected blessings. Get ready for doors you didn't even know existed. Get ready for opportunities tailored specifically for you. Get ready for more peace, more clarity, more confidence. Favor is not something you chase, it is something you embody. Stand tall in the unseen reality of your blessings. Walk as though life is conspiring for your good, because it is. Speak as though everything is lining up for you, because it already is. Feel as though the outcome is guaranteed, because it is. And this is your time of divine favor. Step into it, own it, live from it, and watch as life rises to meet you with more than you ever imagined. Get ready, because more is not only coming, more is already yours. Divine favor does not enter your life through a change in circumstances. It begins the very moment you choose to accept it within yourself. Many people live their entire lives waiting for something external to confirm that they are blessed, loved, supported, or chosen. They wait for the job to come, the relationship to appear, the finances to improve, or the opportunity to open before they allow themselves to believe that they are favored. But divine favor does not work that way. It is not something that announces itself through external conditions first. It begins as an inner acceptance, a quiet, steady knowing that you are aligned with something greater than what you see. When you accept favor within, you shift into a new state of consciousness, and that state begins to influence everything around you. It changes how you speak to yourself, how you move through challenges, how you interpret setbacks, and how you engage with possibilities. You no longer approach life from a place of lack or uncertainty. You approach it from a place of identity, an identity rooted in being already favored. And when you stand in that identity, life responds accordingly. And the outer world is simply a reflection of the inner world. Circumstances follow consciousness, not the other way around. This means that nothing outside needs to change before you step into the awareness of divine favor. You do not need evidence to confirm it. You do not need validation from others. You do not need the situation to improve to believe that you are chosen for something greater. The belief itself is what starts the chain reaction that eventually alters your reality. It is important to understand that acceptance is not merely a thought, it is a feeling. True acceptance is an inner shift where you no longer question whether you are worthy of good things. You no longer debate whether blessings belong in your life. You quietly settle into the knowing that favor is your natural inheritance. Once that feeling is anchored, it becomes a magnet that draws matching experiences into your world. People often say, I will believe I am favored when my life gets better. But the truth is, life gets better when you believe you are favored. The moment you accept it internally, you begin to carry yourself differently. You make decisions from a place of confidence instead of fear. You take inspired action instead of hesitant steps. You are more open to opportunities, more receptive to guidance, and more aligned with the flow of life. This internal posture begins creating new pathways in your external world. Circumstances may take time to shift, but the inner acceptance is immediate. And once it happens, the outer world must eventually conform. Favor starts as a seed planted in consciousness, and with consistent acceptance, it grows into visible blessings. The change you experience internally will always precede the change you see externally. So the beginning of divine favor is not a moment in time, not an event, not a breakthrough, and not an unexpected blessing. The beginning is when you decide, quietly, fully, and without doubt, that favor is already yours. From that point onward, everything starts to move in alignment with that truth. Your imagination is far more than a place for idle thoughts or fleeting daydreams. It is the sacred workshop of reality, the unseen space where every blessing, every opportunity, and every favorable turn in your life first comes into being. Before anything appears in the physical world, it is formed in your mind. Every invention, every success, every relationship, every financial increase, and every moment of joy first exists in the realm of imagination. It is here, in the quiet inner space, that your desires take shape, that your future is crafted, and that divine favor begins to orchestrate itself on your behalf. Too often, people dismiss imagination as something frivolous or unreal. They see it as a distraction, a fantasy, or a luxury. Yet the truth is, imagination is the bridge between your current reality and the life you are destined to experience. It is the tool through which you communicate with the unseen, the medium through which you align yourself with possibilities that have not yet materialized. What you vividly imagine with feeling and conviction sends a signal to your inner being that this is real, that this is yours, and that the universe must respond accordingly. When you use your imagination intentionally, you are not merely thinking about your desires, you are experiencing them in the inner world as if they already exist. This is the moment where creation begins. The mind does not distinguish between what is imagined and what is physically real when the feeling of reality is present. Therefore, when you immerse yourself fully in the experience of your imagined blessings, feeling the gratitude, joy, peace, and fulfillment of having them, you are planting the seed of manifestation. These seeds grow in the unseen realm, forming the blueprint for the life you are about to walk into. Imagination is also the key to aligning with divine favor. The universe operates according to consciousness, not circumstance. What you hold in your inner vision with certainty and emotion begins to shape the outer world. The more vividly you imagine your blessings, the more real they become to your subconscious mind, which in turn orchestrates events, opportunities, and encounters that match that vision. Everything you are about to receive first exists in this inner workshop of thought and feeling. Every person, every chance, every breakthrough that comes your way is drawn to the reality you have imagined. It is essential to realize that imagination is not passive. It requires attention, consistency, and feeling. It is not enough to simply think, I want this, or I hope for that. You must see it clearly in your mind, feel it in your heart, and inhabit the state of having it already. As you do this, your inner world aligns with the outer, and your blessings move from potential into manifestation. If you are waiting for life to deliver blessings before you feel joy, gratitude, or confidence, you are reversing the natural order. Blessings arrive because you first imagine and feel them within. Your imagination is the birthplace of all that is coming to you. It is the sacred space where the unseen becomes the blueprint for the seen. The more intentionally and miraculous your life becomes, the more abundant and miraculous your life becomes. Every blessing you are about to walk into has already been conceived in your imagination. Your task is to nurture it, live it inwardly, and allow it to manifest outwardly in its perfect time. Life does not respond primarily to your actions, your effort, or even your circumstances. It responds to the state you occupy. The state you occupy is the inner condition of your consciousness, the way you feel, think, and perceive yourself in any given moment. This inner state is the fertile soil from which your experiences grow. If you occupy a state of lack, limitation, or doubt, your external world will reflect scarcity, delay, and struggle. Conversely, if you occupy a state of favor, abundance, and inner certainty, life will expand to match that state, bringing opportunities, people, and circumstances that align with your inner reality. Stepping into the state of being favored is not about waiting for recognition or blessings to appear in the outer world. It is about cultivating an inner knowing that you are already the recipient of favor. When you accept that favor internally, you occupy a higher frequency, a state of consciousness that magnetizes the experiences, people, and outcomes you desire. Life always mirrors the dominant state you inhabit. If you are tense, doubtful, or fearful, life will mirror tension, doubt, and fear. But when you are confident, grateful, and certain of your favor, life expands in ways that seem miraculous, yet they are simply the natural reflection of your inner state. The state of being favored begins with imagination, belief, and feeling. It requires you to live as though favor is already present, even before you see evidence in the outer world. Imagine walking into a room knowing that doors will open for you, that people will recognize your value, and that circumstances will bend in your favor. That inner posture, when consistently held, shapes every action, word, and thought. Your presence alone begins to influence your environment, and the world responds to the state you inhabit. Favor is not something earned or requested. It is a state assumed and embodied. Many people wait for life to give them signs, for circumstances to improve, or for others to validate them. They fail to realize that the expansion of life is always in response to the state they occupy, not external conditions. Life does not wait, it is always expanding. If you occupy a state of limitation, life will expand within those limitations. If you occupy a state of favor, life expands into abundance, opportunity, and joy. The choice, therefore, is conscious. You can step into the state of being favored at any moment, and your inner world will begin shaping your outer reality accordingly. Challenges, delays, and obstacles may still appear, but when you are in the state of favor, they are no longer threats. They are signals that the old reality is dissolving and a greater one is forming. You move through life with confidence, knowing that favor is your natural state and that all experiences are orchestrated to align you with greater outcomes. To occupy the state of favor is to rise above doubt, fear, and limitation. It is to embrace an inner certainty that shapes every moment of your life. Life expands according to the state you occupy. It does not depend on effort alone or external conditions. Step into the state of being favored and watch as your inner certainty transforms your external world, bringing opportunities, blessings, and divine alignment beyond anything you could have imagined. Favor is not something you wait for, it is something you live from, and when you do, life responds with expansion, abundance, and fulfillment. What you assume as true in your inner world holds far more power than any external circumstance or event. Assumptions are not merely thoughts. They are convictions that quietly shape your perception, influence your feelings, and ultimately dictate the experiences you draw into your life. The mind and the imagination operate according to what is accepted as real, and the subconscious mind does not distinguish between something that is imagined and something that is tangible, so long as it is assumed as true. This is why the assumptions you carry, whether conscious or unconscious, act as an unseen law shaping the reality you experience. Many people live under the illusion that the external world dictates their life, that they must wait for opportunities, recognition, or blessings to appear before they can feel fortunate, successful, or loved. Yet the truth is the opposite. Your outer world is always a reflection of the assumptions you hold within. If you assume that life is difficult, that people are untrustworthy, that success is out of reach, or that you are not deserving, your reality will mirror those assumptions. These beliefs act like invisible magnets, attracting experiences and circumstances that confirm what you have already accepted as true. On the other hand, when you deliberately assume positive, empowering truths, the unseen law begins to operate in your favor. If you assume that you are naturally favored, that opportunities are abundant, and that life is orchestrating events for your highest good, you start to experience life through a lens of alignment and possibility. The unseen law does not negotiate. It simply enforces what is assumed within. Every feeling, action, and perception becomes consistent with that internal assumption, gradually shaping the external world to match it. Assuming truth is not a passive mental exercise. It requires full engagement of the imagination and the emotions. To truly assume something as true is to inhabit it mentally and emotionally as though it is already reality. When you see yourself as already living the life you desire, feeling the outcomes you seek, and existing in alignment with your highest good, the subconscious mind accepts this as fact. From that acceptance, unseen forces, synchronistic events, and opportunities begin to arrange themselves around you in perfect harmony with your inner assumption. This principle also explains why many people struggle to change their lives despite effort, discipline, and action. Action alone without assumption is like pushing against the current of reality. The unseen law cannot be persuaded by mere trying or wishing. It responds only to what you occupy as true in your inner world. To alter your outer circumstances, you must first alter your inner assumption. You must assume the outcome, the favor, the abundance, or the blessing as already yours, and then act from that state. Every great achievement, every remarkable life change, every manifestation of abundance begins with an assumption. It begins when you quietly, confidently, and consistently accept a truth in your consciousness and refuse to let external conditions dictate otherwise. The unseen law is relentless, impartial, and exact. It will shape your world according to what you assume as true, whether for limitation or for expansion. By consciously choosing empowering assumptions, you align yourself with the creative forces of life and begin to see the outer world transformed to reflect the inner reality you have embraced. Your assumptions are the invisible architects of your destiny. What you accept as true is what forms the blueprint of your life, shaping your experiences, relationships, and opportunities. The unseen law operates without exception. What you assume in the inner realm becomes the foundation of the outer realm. Therefore, choose your assumptions wisely, assume your highest truths, and watch as life aligns to mirror the reality you have inwardly accepted. Challenges in life are often perceived as obstacles, setbacks, or evidence that things are going wrong. Yet, this perception misses the deeper truth. Challenges are signals, indicators that the old reality is dissolving to make way for something greater. Every difficulty, every unexpected twist, every moment of discomfort is not a punishment or a failure. It is a sign that the structure of your previous life, the old patterns, the outdated beliefs, and the limitations you have unconsciously carried is breaking down. This dissolution is necessary because new realities cannot take form while the old ones remain entrenched. The universe, life itself, and even your own inner being work according to a principle of transformation. Nothing that is meant to expand, elevate, or elevate your consciousness can enter while the old is clinging to its place. Challenges, therefore, serve a sacred function. They loosen your attachment to outdated structures, prompting you to release what no longer serves you. Often this feels uncomfortable, even painful, because the old reality is familiar and seemingly safe. Yet the moment of discomfort is exactly the moment where transformation begins. By recognizing challenges as signs of dissolution, you shift your perspective from resistance to acceptance, from frustration to anticipation. And anticipation, every challenge carries the invisible hand of creation. While it may appear as chaos on the surface, in the unseen realm, a greater reality is taking shape. Imagine the seed breaking open in the dark soil. The shell must dissolve, the structure must change, and only then can the new life emerge. Your current difficulties operate in the same way. They are breaking down old limitations, fear, doubt, lack of faith, or self-imposed restrictions, so that a more expansive, more aligned reality can grow in its place. The greater reality does not compete with the old, it simply requires the old to step aside. It is important to understand that the timing of this process is unseen. You may feel uncertain, impatient, or even disheartened, but the dissolution of the old and the formation of the new operate according to precise laws of consciousness. Your inner state during these challenges determines how quickly and fully the greater reality emerges. If you resist, fear, or despair, the process slows. But if you maintain faith, envision the new, and align yourself with the expectation of expansion, the unseen forces work harmoniously to bring the higher reality into manifestation. Challenges also serve as a teacher, refining your character, strengthening your resolve, and clarifying your desires. They reveal what you truly value and what you are ready to receive. As the old reality dissolves, you are being prepared mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to inhabit a state of greater abundance, clarity, and divine alignment. The greater reality is not just bigger in scope, it is higher in quality, more aligned with your authentic self, and more attuned to your highest good. Every challenge should be embraced as a signal of transformation rather than a threat. It is proof that life is not stagnant and that your inner and outer worlds are evolving. The discomfort of the present moment is temporary. It is the necessary crucible through which the new reality is forged. By trusting this process, holding your vision, and maintaining your state of faith and expectancy, you align yourself with the unfolding of a greater life. Challenges indicate that the old is dissolving, and if you are willing to embrace them consciously, they are also the very doorway through which a higher, more abundant, and more harmonious reality is forming. Your time of divine favor is not something that waits for a future date on the calendar, nor is it dependent on external circumstances lining up perfectly. It does not arrive when conditions are ideal, when people approve, or when opportunities are visible. Divine favor is immediate, and it manifests the moment you claim it within yourself and feel it as already yours. This is a principle of consciousness The outer world always reflects the inner reality you occupy. When you fully embrace the feeling of being favored, when you inhabit it mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, life begins to align in perfect correspondence with that state. Many people postpone their sense of favor because they are waiting for proof in the physical world. They say, I will feel blessed when I get the promotion, or I will feel worthy when my circumstances improve. But this is the reverse of how life actually operates. The feeling comes first, and the physical evidence follows. To experience divine favor, you must act, think, and feel as though it is already your reality. You must occupy the state of having it now, without doubt, hesitation, or reservation. This internal claiming activates the unseen laws that govern life, and the external world begins to bend, shift, and align in harmony with your inner certainty. Feeling divine favor as already yours requires more than intellectual acknowledgement. It demands an emotional and imaginative embrace. You must feel the gratitude, the relief, the confidence, and the joy that come with being favored. Your imagination is the vehicle through which this state is inhabited. Picture yourself walking through life with doors opening before you, opportunities appearing naturally, and people responding positively to your presence. Hold that feeling with sincerity and intensity, and your subconscious mind accepts it as reality. Once this occurs, the unseen forces that govern life work to manifest that favor in tangible ways. The instant you claim divine favor, resistance begins to dissolve. Doubts, fears, and limiting beliefs lose their grip because they are not aligned with the state you now occupy. You stop struggling to make things happen and instead allow life to flow toward you effortlessly. Opportunities appear that were previously invisible. Synchronicities emerge that guide you to exactly what you need. Support arises from unexpected sources. All of these manifestations are not coincidences. They are the natural expression of claiming your state of favor within and allowing life to respond to it. It is essential to recognize that claiming divine favor is not about arrogance, entitlement, or external validation. It is a conscious choice to acknowledge your inherent alignment with abundance, opportunity, and goodness. By claiming it now, you move into a higher state of being that elevates your consciousness and attracts experiences in exact harmony with your assumption. The moment you fully accept it, the universe mirrors your inner reality. Divine favor is present, eternal, and accessible in every moment. Your time of divine favor does not need to wait for someone to approve, for circumstances to shift, or for luck to intervene. The moment you claim it as yours and embody it in feeling, imagination, and belief, it is already active in your life. By living from this state, by consistently feeling it as yours, you allow the flow of favor to manifest fully and effortlessly, transforming your life in ways that exceed your current expectations. Your claiming is the key, and the instant you turn the key within, the doors of divine favor open. In conclusion, your time of divine favor is not a distant dream or a hope for the future. It is a present reality waiting for you to claim it. Every blessing, every opportunity, and every form of abundance begins within, in the state you occupy, the assumptions you embrace, and the imagination you cultivate. Challenges, delays, and uncertainties are not obstacles. They are signs that the old is dissolving to make way for something far greater. The moment you accept favor within, feel it as already yours, and step into that state with unwavering belief, life begins to align effortlessly in perfect harmony with your inner reality. You are not waiting for divine favor. It is already flowing toward you. All that remains is for you to claim it, embody it, and walk into the life it has prepared for you. Thank you.